G'day camper. You've no doubt noticed I start every video with that line. You might have also noticed I finish every video with this line. Do you have any tips? Let us know down there in the comment section and you might just be helping a fellow camper in the future. Now doing that results in some very interesting comments. So today's video is all about bringing up some of my favorite comments right from the start of this channel and putting them out here in front of you all so we can all benefit from them. Said it before, say it again. The tiny pliers on a Swiss Army knife, not as useless as the Leatherman fan will have you believe. Tip number 1 from Dave Tapper 677. Baby powder and sandy kids. I've heard this one before from Ronnie Dahl actually.
I got wet feet with sand, talcum powder, just a little bit, gets all the sand off.
I suppose it absorbs any moisture from the sand and makes it just fall away. Great tip, thanks for sharing. David Paradis 490. This one's relating to the shower tent video I did, and he suggests getting a roll-up bamboo floor to use no matter what brand of tent. Roll-up bamboo floor so you don't have to stand in the mud. This tip comes from BBMass 7016, and this is related to seasoning your swag. I've seen this one a few times, especially when I did the major floor with PVC floors, was you should season your swag in the bathtub. That makes a lot of sense. You take the mattress out, you roll it up, you throw it in the bath, fill the bath up and let it soak for like a day. I would have done this with my King's Big Daddy Air swag before I did the review, except it's so massive I couldn't fit it in the bath. This one from Havercrack 76, that's Shane. A tip on the stainless steel bucket. I used this stainless steel bucket in my basic camp shower video. Now mine has folded pressed edges which are prone to rust. Shane says go into an agricultural store and you can find these stainless steel buckets pressed with no folds. This one from the Fatal Floor with PVC floors. Save yourself a bit of money when you have to seal seams on a junk swag, and just get a tube of silicone from Bunnings, hardware store, whatever, and dissolve it into a paintable mixture with some terps and paint that on. This one's from the same video, very similar comment, except he's suggesting to use a polyurethane sealer, and that makes a lot of sense because if you choose to use silicone, nothing will ever stick there again except for silicone, whereas polyurethane, it's a bit more forgiving, and polyurethane sticks better to vinyl. This one from Adam Pole 4977, a tip for bugs in your tent and vehicle, is get one of those battery powered lights with a bug zapper in it. When you go to bed, turn that on and every bug that's stuck inside your tent, camper, caravan or car goes in. This one from Callum T1000, like the T1000 Terminator. This one, I use a cake tin for a windbreak around your gas stove. And this one specifically relates to the spider stove that I have, which has no form of a windbreak. Go to the op shop maybe, get a secondhand cake tin, cut a little piece out of it. You've got a windbreak for a couple of bucks. We're back onto shower floors again. This one's from Greg174 videos. This is great. This is a good reason to have rubber floor mats in your vehicle because everything has to have two purposes when you're camping. Rather than carrying a shower mat, use your rubber car floor mat as a shower mat. Very good. This one's from my Everything Explained About Porta Potties video. In that video I said you can get a very similar model that's got only a 10 litre waste holding tank. That's going to be great for weekenders. It's lower, so it's a smaller pack size. However, because the tank's lower, the whole thing's more squat. Of course, if your knees aren't quite what they used to be, that might make an impact. Well, Cactus 62 doesn't have the space for a full-size toilet in his setup, but did have the space for like a little caravan step. So put the toilet up on a caravan step. Now you can have the compact toilet and the extra height. We're still on the toilets. The flush doesn't have a lot of power, so if you leave any skid marks on the bowl, they're not just flushing away, you have to wipe them with a bit of toilet paper. Wingo Sun says they keep a 1 to 2 litre pressure sprayer bottle in there next to the toilet, bit of water in there, and just blast anything sticky off. Now that was a great tip for cleaning the toilet bowl, but here's an even cheaper one from Mojo Josie 86. Just get a plastic drink bottle, put some small holes in the lid, water in the drink bottle, and blast all the stickies off your toilet bowl. Oh yeah, this one, I love this. This makes me want to get a hurricane lamp. This is from Paul Richards, 8760. In the hurricane lamp, instead of using kerosene to fuel it, put citronella oil in. He reckons it burns cleaner and it keeps all the bugs away. That is so simple, but so brilliant. This one from my cooler versus fridge video. This comment is such a really interesting way of doing it. So Glenn Jackson 1417 runs his fridge as a freezer and has an esky. So in the fridge puts all the frozen meals and meat and ice creams, all that sort of stuff. But most importantly for this, ice blocks, which get a new set gets put in and frozen and gets rotated out into an esky where all the fridge items get kept. And then when the ice melts, it goes back in the freezer and some new stuff comes out. So you've got a freezer and a fridge and you're not having to buy ice. That is a really cool system. We're on to showers again here with Mark Ross Nogel 4680. For his shower, he uses a garden sprayer like you put weed killer in. Paints the tank black and has fitted a kitchen sink spray head to the top, and that's the shower. Put the black tank out in the sun, gets a bit warm, have a shower at night. Pretty good. This one has 48 likes. It's on the second or third video I did on the channel, and it's to do with gazebo legs. So I talk about adjustability in gazebos, how it's not always that great. It's so simple. Just drill additional holes in the legs so you can adjust it to whatever height you want. Improves shade angle in low sun and structural survivability in high winds. So in the YouTube studio, it shows you who interacts with your channel the most, and I'm pretty sure Mark is the one that interacts the most. So thank you very much for that, Mark. That's Western Australia Now and Then. He has his own YouTube channel. He's been doing it for years. And if you're interested in West Australian history, he's the man to see. He talks about healing bug bites, and he's mentioned this in a few comments on my videos. When you've got a really itchy insect bite, mosquito bite or something, take the back of a teaspoon that has been sitting in a cup of very hot, close to boiling but not quite water. Shake the spoon a couple of times and apply the spoon to the bites. This is the only method we have ever found that stops the itching. Interesting. I haven't tried it yet, but I've got to try and remember that one. This one from Mud Ducks Touring Australia, that's Steve. This one relates to my swag tips video, and his tip was that he doesn't ever take the poles out of the loops. So at the end of the swag, you have to feed the pole through a loop. Well, he just collapses the poles and leaves them there, so it's just one less little thing you have to do when you set up your swag at night. This one from Sean Christie 7150. You know those little silica bags? You get them in just about everything you buy, shoes, or you can even buy them from the shops if you want. Well, he throws a couple of those in the swags or tents when he packs them up, just to wick out any moisture that's left in there and keep his bedding premium. Nice one, Sean. Dougie, Australian Rural Adventures. Dougie's suggestion, so he spent some time on the road in a caravan with his family of, I think it's 5 kids plus the adults, so what does that make, 7? And had to empty the toilet, the cassette toilet, every single day, and the chemicals were just stupid expensive. So he puts a scoop of nappy sand in the bottom tank to break down the solids. I have heard that this works because it's an oxidizer, so might be worth a look. Now we're back to the cooler versus fridge video again with Jaden LC chipping in a comment about salt in the ice. Now he says, surprised it's not in the comments, it's a common year 10 science experiment to cool a can as fast as possible using salted ice. Adding salt to the ice, I think it lowers the freezing temperature of the water. I'm not a scientist, especially not a year 10 one, but he claims that it works so well that he's popped frozen drinks and cans just by having them next to a block of ice like that. So might be worth it for us esky and cooler users out there. And I've just barely scratched the surface. There's going to be more episodes of this in the future. So if you've got any really cool tips or suggestions, make sure you leave a comment down. You know what? Let us know down there in the comment section, and you might just be helping a fellow camper in the future.